Hey friends, I've got some surprising news that could put extra money back in your pocket. Most people think tax season is months away and not worth worrying about right now. But what if I told you that millions of Americans are about to see the biggest jump in their refunds in nearly a decade? This isn't speculation. The changes are already written into law when you file your taxes in early 2026. You may be shocked at how much larger your refund looks compared to last year. Why? Because a major tax overhaul pushed through earlier this summer quietly rewrote the rules. The average refund is projected to jump to around $3,700, which is roughly 15% more than last year. And depending on your situation, it could be even higher. But here's the key. A tax refund isn't free money. It simply means you paid more into the system during the year than you actually owed. The new rules, backdated into 2025, are creating that gap, and it's why. Many people will be pleasantly surprised when the IRS pays them back. So who exactly is going to benefit the most from these new rules? Let's break it down. First, seniors. If you're 65 or older by the end of this year, your standard deduction just got a serious boost. Singles can add an extra $6,000, and married couples filing jointly can tack on a whopping $12,000. That alone can shrink your taxable income dramatically. Next up, service workers who rely on tips. For decades, tips were fully taxed, even though everyone knows they often make up a big share of someone's paycheck. Starting in 2025, up to $25,000 in tips can now be treated as tax-free income. For couples, the same cap applies. The deduction starts phasing out as income climbs. But for many restaurant staff, bartenders, and delivery workers, this could mean the biggest refunds they've ever seen. Then there's overtime pay. Roughly 6 out of 10 American workers are eligible for overtime. Under the new law, a portion of those extra hours will no longer count toward your federal income tax bill. For singles, the break can be worth up to $12,500. For couples, it's as high as $25,000. And remember, it only applies to federal income taxes, not Social Security or Medicare withholding. But it still adds up to real money back in your pocket. Another big group, families with kids. The child tax credit has been bumped up again, from $2,000 to $2,200 per child. That's not life-changing on its own. But if you've got 2 or 3 kids, it stacks up quickly. And don't forget about people living in high-tax states. The cap on deducting state and local taxes, often called SALT, has been raised for FULT, from $10,000 to $40,000. That's a huge win for folks in places like California, New York, or New Jersey, who were previously losing out on deductions because of the lower cap. Finally, here's one more curveball: auto loans. If you buy a new car that was assembled in the U.S., the interest on your loan up to $10,000 a year can now be written off. It doesn't apply to used cars, and there are income limits. But for middle-class families buying new vehicles, it's another tax break that wasn't available before. Now, what happens when tens of millions of households suddenly receive bigger refund checks? Think of it like a mini stimulus program, but one that people don't see coming. On average, the bump is about $500 more per refund. Multiply that by roughly 117 million tax filers. And you're looking at tens of billions of extra dollars being pumped straight back into the economy almost overnight. That means more families paying off credit cards, catching up on bills, or even splurging a little on things they've been holding off on, like home repairs, vacations, or big-ticket purchases. Economists are already projecting that this refund surge could add 0.5% to GDP growth in the first quarter of 2026. And that's not a trivial number. 0.5% in GDP is the difference between sluggish growth and a surprisingly strong start to the year. If you lived through past tax changes, you know what this looks like. When households suddenly feel richer, spending picks up fast. Retail chains see a bump, restaurants fill up, and travel bookings shoot higher. The difference this time is that it wasn't advertised as a stimulus, it's baked into the new tax law. So, a lot of people will be blindsided when they realize their refund is hundreds or even thousands more than usual. Here's the kicker. Because payroll systems didn't adjust earlier in the year, the entire benefit piles up in your refund, so it feels like a windfall. That psychological effect can be powerful. Families that may have been struggling all year with higher costs suddenly feel like they've got breathing room again. But before you get too excited, there's something important you need to understand. This surge is temporary. Here's why. Starting in 2026, payroll systems and IRS tax tables will already reflect the new rules. That means your take-home pay will rise each paycheck, since less tax will be withheld up front. Sounds good, right? Yes, but it also means your refund the following year, when you file in 2027, will look smaller compared to the inflated refund of 22.6. So don't be shocked when that happens. It's not that you're losing money. It's simply that the adjustment moved forward into your regular paychecks instead of piling up at tax time. In other words, 2026 refunds are going to feel like a jackpot, but 2027 will look like they shrank, even though your overall tax savings are the same. Think of it like this. In 2026, you're essentially collecting back pay for the first half of 2025, when the law wasn't yet applied. After that one-time catch-up, everything normalizes. So, my advice. If you find yourself with a larger than expected refund in early 2026, don't treat it as lottery money. Use it. Strategically pay down debt, build your emergency fund, or invest in assets that protect you from inflation. That way, when refunds settle back to normal the following year, you won't feel like you've lost ground. At the end of the day, millions of Americans are about to experience the biggest refund surprise in years, and many don't even know it yet. Now you do. So, let me ask you, if you got an extra $500, $1,000, or even more back from the IRS next year, what would you do with it? Save it, spend it, invest it, drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to see how people are planning to use this unexpected bump. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll keep tracking the details as the new tax rules roll out and as we get closer to filing season. You won't want to miss the updates.